Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Monique Agbu and I upload sewing tutorial and lifestyle content. In today's tutorial, I'm going to teach you how I made this beautiful cargo skirt, as you can see. So if that's something I should say, let's dive into this tutorial together. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. The name of this material is the chinos fabric. So I am running out a straight line like this. That will serve as my borderline, which also means the starting point. So this cargo skirt is going to be a mini skirt for me, and it's going to have a band which is 2 inches. So I'm just going to take out 2 inches. So this is 2 inches here. So I'm just going to measure out my full length of the skirt. I want my length to be 22. And note, this is the back of the skirt and not the front of the skirt. We're cutting the back first before we cut the front. So on this starting line, I'm going to input my waist measurement, and I'll add extra 1 inch allowance. From that point, I'll come down by 10 inches, roll out, and I'll roll out the line like this. On that line, I'm going to mark out my measurement plus 1 inch allowance. So what I'm going to do is to connect these 2 lines together. The point, I'm going to connect it together. So it will be like this. So from this point, I will just connect it straight down to the length of my skirt. So to cut the back piece, I also went ahead to fold it again, and I'll place the back piece on it like this, and I'll make sure there is up to 1.5 inch allowance or 1 inch. So I'll just pin it and cut it out. So for this piece that looks like the zip allowance, I'm going to trim it out too. So we have the front and the back piece. So the next thing we're going to cut is the zipper fly for the skirt. Zipper fly is the zip that's always in front of your skirt or your trousers. So that's what we're going to cut. So for the zipper fly, I'll be making use of this black zip because the blue zip that I have, it's kind of stiff. So I'll just make use of this one since it's going to be inside. The length of this zipper fly is going to be 9 inches and the width is going to be 2 inches. So I'm just going to mark 2 inches like this, and like this. Then I'll connect the lines together this way and cut it out. The first zipper fly, as you can see, is on a fold. So the second one is going to be the same thing. I'll just place this on this like this, then I would pin it and cut it out. This is the first one on a fold, and this is the second one. I just use this template to cut it to make it easier for me. So I'm just going to slash it out like this. So this is how it looks like. What I will do is just to take my chalk and give it a curvy look like this. So I'll just trim it out. You can see 2 and this on a fold. So for the zipper fly, remember we have this and this. So what I'm going to do is, this is the right side of the flyer and this is the wrong side. So I'm going to flip it this way and stitch it here for this one that is on the fold, and for this second one that is on a separate piece, I'm going to start stitching from this point. I'll just take quarter inch and sew it till the end of this part. So as you can see, I've already done that. So the next thing I'll do is to flip this one like this going to flip it to the right side this way. Then I will iron it. Then for this one too, I'll flip it to the right side like this and iron it out. This is what the zipper fly looks like after I have ironed it. The skirt part, I've already identified the side of my skirt. There's the left side and the right side. So on the right piece of my skirt, I'm going to take this zipper fly that is like this. I'm going to take it this way. Then I'm going to place my zip like this, facing the raw edge of this zipper fly, and I'm going to stitch it. After stitching it, this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to flip it to the right side like this and top stitch this place. This is the left piece of the skirt. So what I'm going to do is to take this zipper fly like this, and I'm going to sew it. Let's take half quarter and stitch it. Stitching it this way like this, I'm just going to flip it like this and top stitch it. Just make sure it is neatly aligned. To make sure that ½ inch of this zip flash will cover this area. So if you flip it over, you have something like this. So that means this zip here, you're going to fix it on this. So I'll just place it this way and fix the zip. So after fixing the zip, this is what it should look like. You're going to take a chalk and trace out the line of the zip and where you want it to end. As for me, I want it to end at this point, so I'm going to stop here. So this is the line I'm going to follow. I'm going to stitch it to this point. The next thing to do, you're going to see something like this after fixing your zip. So you will just take this one like this and place it on this second one. Then you're going to sew on it, starting from this line here.
So for the side pocket, I went ahead to cut out that pocket, and the measurement I used is 8 inches by 12 inches. So the length is 12 inches and the width is 8 inches.
Next thing to do is to measure out 3 inches here and measure 7 inches. You do the same thing for the other side too. Inches by 7 inches. You do the same thing on the skirt, the front piece. 3 inches here by 7. So this 3 by 7 inches, I'm going to take it to my iron and iron it out. I am not trimming it out, you just iron it out. I'll do the same thing for the other side. I'll flip it like this and iron it, so you can get that gator line effect. And that's the same thing I'm going to do on the pocket. You take it to your iron and iron it. Do the same thing for the second one too. So after ironing the pocket, this is how it looks like. As you can see, the gator line that I was talking about. Same thing on the pocket too. You can see it. It's also here too. So the next thing to do is to attach the pocket. So I'm just going to place the pocket side facing the right side. You place it this way and you start sewing on the gator line. So this is what it looks like after I've sewn it. So I'll flip it over to the right side like this, and now we iron it. After ironing it, you can see I'm going to just stitch it. So after I've stitched it, this is what it looks like. So I'm going to take the pocket like this and measure out the same 3 inches like this. This is 3 inches. I'll just take it like this and I'll pin it. So this area that we pinned out, you have to take it to your sewing machine and stitch it. So after stitching this place, you want to make sure that it is well aligned properly. So the next thing to do is to flip the pocket this way, take half an inch and sew it to this part here. But when you get to this part, it's going to be curvy. You're going to see it while I'm sewing. After sewing it, this is what it looks like when I flipped it to the front. So as you can see, the pocket is ready. This method I just showed you guys, that's the same thing I'm going to do for the second side. So after fixing the pocket, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I'm going to take the back piece of the skirt like this. Then I'm going to take 1 inch allowance and sew it. After stitching it like this, that's the same thing I'm going to do for the second side. Sewing this side, the next thing to do is to end the down part of this skirt. So I'm just going to flip it like this and stitch it round. It is almost ready. So the next thing we're going to do is to cut out your pocket and the band. Sorry guys, I just realized that it wasn't recording and I've already cut it, so I'm just going to explain what I did. This is the pocket for the skirt. So I made sure it was 8 inches by 8 inches. So I cut out 2 pieces of this. Next thing I did was to measure out all the sides of the pocket like this. Then I went to cut out this long strap for the 2 pockets. So after that, I went ahead to cut out this strap. It is 10 inches by 2 inches. 10 inches by 2 inches. I cut out 2 pieces like this, and the final one I cut out was 5 inches long and the width was 2 inches. That was what I did. Last one I did was to cut out the band of the skirt, which is my waist measurement plus 1 inch allowance. So if your waist is 32, you measure out 33 or 34, depends on you. So that was what I did. So let's move to the sewing aspect of this tutorial. So this is the 2 pocket I cut out. Remember, 8 inches by 8 inches. So what I'm going to do is to flip it to the middle. So I'm just going to measure out 1.5 inch here and mark it out. I'll do the same thing for the other side. So 1.5 inch and mark it out. So what I'm going to do is to stitch this area to the end of this 1.5, and I'll do the same thing for this side too. Start from here and the stitch will end there. So after sewing, this is what it should look like. It should look like this. And iron it. So this is what I will do for the second one. Sorry guys, I thought it was recording and it wasn't, and I've already sewn the two pockets, so I have to lose one to explain how I did it to you guys again. Sorry about that. After I stitch that 1.5 inch like this, if you flip it to the right side, this is what it will look like. So at the top of the pocket, I went ahead to hem it. So that is why it looks like this. So the next thing I went to do was to take out the long strap I cut out for the pocket. Then I folded it like this, like I placed it on this pocket and stitched it round like this. So after sewing it like this, when you flip it to the right side, this is what it will look like. The thing you will do is to take it to your skirt and you fold it like this and you stitch it round like this. So when you want to stitch it, please make sure you separate it from the back so that you don't end up sewing the front and the back together. This is what it should look like, as you can see. So at this side of your pocket, just make sure you flip it like this and stitch it like this, at least like 1 inch. So that's what you will do for this side too, like this. You stitch, you do the same thing for the second pocket, like that and like that. So the next thing to do is to measure out the pocket, and this is 6 inches. So I went ahead to cut out 7 inches by 5 inches for the pocket cover. So what I'm going to do is to take 1/4 inch and sew it round to this end, from this point to this point. Then you flip it over to the right side like this. Flipping it to the right side like this, make sure it is well ironed. Then you top stitch it. To place it like this, then you stitch it. This is what it looks like when you flip it to the right side. So your sewing machine and stitch it. Then you're going to top stitch. So this method I just showed you guys, that is what I'm going to do for the second pocket. As you can see, the pocket is ready already. So next thing to do is to take out this first strap that I cut out. Remember, 10 inches by 2 inches, then 5 inches by 2 inches. So take it like this, and I'll fold it this way and stitch down. So that is what I will do for this 4. after stitching it, this is what it looks like. As you can see, 2 long ones and 2 short ones. Just take the D-ring like this, put it inside, then find the middle point of your pocket. This is the middle point. Follow the line, then you stitch it on it. This is what it looks like after I've stitched it like this. So the next thing you want to do is you take the long one here and stitch it. Find the middle point and stitch. You can just follow this line of the pocket and you stitch that area. So the next thing you want to do is to take out this long one and aim it this way and just stitch it. So you do the same thing for this second one too. So after stitching it, you should have something like this. So you put it inside the D-ring. Do the same thing for the second pocket too. For the band, it is the width is 5 inches. Then the length is your waist measurement plus 1 inch allowance. Fold it like this and iron it. So you just make sure it is 1/2 inch. You take 1/2 inch at the other side and iron it down. So the next thing you want to do is to flip it over and stitch this area. And then this is the back. So you take it like this. Now take this side of the band, follow that gator line and stitch it round till you get to the end of your skirt. Next thing for you to do is to flip the band to the right side, and here it is, and this is how it looks like. So just take it to your sewing machine and start sewing. So it's very close to the edge so it can be neat. So guys, this is what it looks like after I've attached the band, as you can see. So there will be a button all here and there will be a button here. To quickly wrap up this tutorial, I went ahead to cut out a strap, long strap like this, and I folded it and sewed it like a band, as you can see. So the length of my belt hole around 4 inches. So I'm just going to cut it in 6 places. So these are the belt hole. So I'm just going to take it like this. You stitch it, then you flip it and fold it like this, and you stitch. I already fixed the belt hole, and as you can see, I went ahead to put some D-rings on some of the belt hole.
So I went ahead to fix this chain on those D-ring on the belt hole. It's optional.
You'll be recreating this skirt with my tutorial. Please tag me on Instagram at Next Fashion so I can see it and repost. See you in my next video. Bye guys.